up, friends? I'm going to start part one of the Super Cub build. I was going to give a shout out to my buddy Sean. He was the first one to order the plans, and I know he's waiting on me. So let's get into this. Here we got our plans all laid out. I know it looks kind of complicated with all the writing, but it's a fairly simple build. You'll see as we go through. And I'm going to start with my main wing here. The wingspan's 35 3/4 inches long. Let's go ahead and start with that. I'm just going to go ahead and cut the wing off the plans. And we'll move these off to the side. So here we got our main wing. And all I did here is I took 2 sheets of standard white foam board. You get it from the dollar store. And I taped it on the top. It's just Scotch tape. I taped my 2 pieces together. Make sure you guys got nice straight edges when you put them together. We'll take our ruler. I just want to take the center of the wing and continue this line right off the paper. That way I can line it up with my foam board. Just like that. So now I'm going to line those lines up here. Make sure you guys get it right on, because this will make your wing nice and straight. Alright, let's go ahead and taper down. Make sure when you guys are taping that your plans are nice and flat on your foam. And again, guys, just like all my other builds, I always cut my foam board on top of a carpet. There ain't no shag carpet or nothing, just flat carpet. It allows for a lot nicer cuts. Get a couple more on here. Alright, now I'll just go ahead and I'm gonna score all these lines. You'll see here I got 3 different score lines. So I'm just gonna go ahead and score those right now. Again, don't cut all the way through, guys, just score it. And if you want, just cut about halfway through so you don't go all the way through the wing. I'll just continue on to this other side. For this build, I'm going to go ahead and show you how I go about painting these planes. So there'll probably be like a part 4. Maybe even a part 5, I'm not even sure. So again, I'm just scoring these lines all the way down. And this is what we're going to set our airfoil off of. This wing is built the same way I built the wing for the biplane with snow skis. Alright, the center of the wing here, you'll see I got it says wing mount. We'll cut that out of a separate piece of foam. So after we're done, I'll just tape these pieces back together. And then we'll make our wing mount. Matter of fact, I'll go ahead and just line all these back up and just tape it right now. Be a good idea. Because we're going to cut the wing mount out of a separate piece of foam. Alright, I scored all 3 lines for setting our airfoil. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut out the main wing. Get a couple more pieces of tape on here. I'll go ahead and use a ruler for the straight cuts, and then I'll come back with my X-Acto knife for the turns. And the whole wing you can just straight cut it. I did the top, now I'm jumping down to the bottom. For this build, I'm not going to paint it like I got my Super Cub here, since I already got one this color, which this is, made this one look like the Carbon Cub they just came out with. I'm gonna paint this one a J3 Cub colors. So it'd be Cub Yellow. Alright, now I'm just gonna, now for turns, guys, I always use an X-Acto knife. Makes it a lot easier. You get a nice straight turn. Like so. Jump over to this end. This plane, I really like how this plane turned out. It flies beautiful. And it looks awesome. And I really like building my own planes, because if you crash, it's only a couple of dollars in foam board. Alright guys, so we got our main wing cut out here. Put that off to the side. So there we got our main wing. Now if you guys want, you guys can go ahead and throw some tape on these just to hold it all together. Line these back up. So I'm going to use these plans on the top side. So where your tape is on the bottom, this is going to be the top of your wing here. And our airfoil cuts are right there. So now I'm just going to flip this thing up, flip the wing up. Now this is the top view of the wing. I'm going to go ahead and cut out for our ailerons. Alright, so here we got our right aileron and our left aileron. Just go ahead and cut out for these right now. For the ailerons, guys, just go ahead and straight cut the hinge line. I'll show you how I'll take and cut the V-notch out after I straight cut this. Throw my ruler on here. For your ailerons, you guys want to use your ruler, keep it nice and straight. I'll show you what I'm talking about here with these. So there I got my aileron cut off. Now all I'm going to do, I'm going to take and flip it over. Or actually, I cut it off like that. I'll just go ahead and pull it back from the wing. Go ahead and stick my ruler up here. Now I'm going to 45 it. So now we got our hinge, just like so. Okay, let's move on to this other one. Sure your plans are nice and straight. Go ahead and freehand cut these. Alright, and again I just pulled the aileron away from the wing. Put your ruler on the edge and just cut a 40, line it up with the edge of your aileron. Just cut a 45 into this one too. So there we got our ailerons all made up. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and cut out the wing mount out of my plans. Just take a pair of scissors and cut it out. You want to make sure these cuts are nice and straight on this. Now we can put these off the side. We ain't gonna need them for a while. Now this will be the wing mount, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Which is that piece here, and it just centers the wing inside the plane, so it sits in there really nice. Alright, so let's go ahead and cut that out of a separate piece of foam. Go ahead and stick it on the foam. Tape it down on here. Now you guys could trace this out if you want. I just take and put it right back onto the foam board, tape it on there. Like I said, guys, it's really nice to cut on carpet. Some guys try to cut on like hard wood and hard surfaces, and your knife just dulls out and you start tearing the foam and the paper. Alright, so there's the wing mount that's going to go in the center, and it's also going to help join these two pieces of the wing. Now again, the lines you scored, those are on the bottom of the wing, because that's how we're going to create our airfoil here. Now on my wife's plane, I made a slight dihedral in the wing, but with this, I don't really need no dihedral, and that's the V shape. This plane here, I'm just going to make it a flat wing because I'll be flying it. So here I got my wing. I'm going to go ahead and glue these two halves together now. I'm just going to run a bead of hot glue in the crack and then just lay it flat. Don't be afraid to put some hot glue in here neither, guys. We'll just wipe off the excess. You know, just hurt and bust it down flat like that. Wipe off any excess glue with your finger. Just give this a second to set up. Make sure your wing is nice and flat. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and set the airfoil on this wing. Actually, I'll go ahead and tape on my ailerons real quick. Left. Now to get your ailerons to fit real nice, you want to take off like a 1/16 on the end of it. That way they fit in your spot you cut real nice. For the ailerons, I'll just go ahead and put 2 pieces of Scotch tape for now, because I'm going to go back and clear packing tape this whole thing anyway. So just 2 pieces will work for now. And there we have our aileron. Go ahead and trim a 1/16 off the other aileron. Fit her on there. There's our other aileron. Alright, now for the airfoil, for the three lines we scored. All I'm going to do is go ahead and cut through this hot glue right here. This is the hot glue I just put in the center. So I'm going to go ahead and cut through that. And also, you want to cut on the middle line, the center line of the wing, all the way across to all 3 of the airfoil lines. Alright, now I'll take now you guys can just take any pen. I mean, they're all kind of the same. And I'm going to run it down the score line of our wing here. I'm going to stick it down in the crack. And this will spread this out enough to where it'll give us an airfoil shape. And as you can see, it's already bending upward. There's not a whole lot of airfoil on this. Like you can see on this one here. Just pull this wing off. There's not a whole lot of airfoil there. It just has a slight airfoil at the front. I mean, you guys can put as much as you want. I just put a slight airfoil. It doesn't have to be nothing major. so I went ahead and ran my pen down that score line. Now I'll just take 2 ink pens, just kind of line them up with your wing here. Once I put hot glue in here, I want to be able to press down on this. You got to make sure it's even when you do. So I'll line up my pens like so. I'm going to go ahead and break this line right at the airfoil so I can get some hot glue in there real nice. Change out my glue stick. You guys are going to want to kind of hit this line quick. Don't be afraid to get some hot glue down in there. Just wipe off the excess. Go ahead and set it on the ink pens. Push down. Just want the airfoil to be the same. Go ahead and let that one set up for a second. Any excess glue or anything, guys, I don't even wipe it off. Anything that's popped up, what I'll do is I'll go back with a solder iron and just run a soldering iron across it, and it'll all lay flat, all that extra glue. So now I'm going to go ahead and score the next line with an ink pen. Run it down it twice. Go ahead and crack it at that line. I went ahead and opened it up a little. Lay back down my ink pens. Set her on there. Just make sure your airfoil is even all the way across the wing. So I'm just lifting up on the end slightly to make sure it is. Alright, so our airfoil's taking shape. I got one more line to score. So this is the last line. I'll go ahead and run my ink pen down through it. And this is just spreading out the foam so it'll bend in that spot. You guys find that it ain't bending real, folding apart, just run your pen down it. Or your X-Acto knife, I mean. Just make sure you guys don't cut through the other paper on the other side. Alright. I'm just going to do 1/2 at a time on this one. Go ahead and put your pins underneath there. Just want to make sure it's even. I'll wipe off some of the excess with my finger. And like I said, I'm going to go back with my soldering iron, and I just lay this glue down flat. Hit this other side. Stick my pins underneath it. Alright, so there we got our main wing here. And you can see the airfoil we just made. Now I'll go ahead here from where I cut, and I'll go ahead and stick some hot glue in there to connect those pieces back. Just go ahead and wipe off any excess. This is the top of the wing, so you want it to look nice and smooth. And for you guys out there, if you guys want to add flaps and whatnot, all you do is just cut your aileron shorter and then make your flap over on this end for flaps. So I mean, if I was going to put flaps, I would cut my aileron, stop my aileron probably about right where my pointer finger is there, and then I would cut out for the flaps. Any of you guys doing these builds, I'm sure you know how to add flaps on here. Now I'm just going to run some on the back side here. Now again, here's our wing mount that we cut out of a separate piece of foam board. That's going to mount right in the center of the wing. But you don't have to go, you ain't got to put your wing mount on until you get the fuselage all built. I would wait till then. So again, here we got our ailerons taped on, ready to go. Just do a little recap on the main wing. I cut out the, first I scored all 3 lines to set my airfoil. Then I cut out the main wing. Then I cut out for the ailerons and added them on. Then we went ahead and ran our pen down our score lines. Went ahead and ran a bead of hot glue in there. Put our pins on the carpet. And then pushed it down to make it all even all the way down. And I'm kind of rushing through this, guys, and you can still see it turned out really nice. If I wasn't doing the build video, I'd be taking my time, but it still turns out nice even rushing. It's a nice airfoil in the wing. Here's my carbon fiber rod that I went ahead and I'll show you that later on, how to attach it. It makes for one strong wing. I mean, I've had a few crashes and I got a few wrinkles here, but the wing is still strong and in shape. Alright, that's part 1.